You know where a girl can get some work?
What can you do?
Well, I was a farmer, until Centaurs trampled my fields and burned my house down.
No farming jobs in the city. Check the quarters. You might get lucky.
My sister's getting married again.
Stranger things have happened, like necromancy.
She's marrying a bard, the guy with the pan flute who plays drinking songs.
I can accept the dead returning to life, but marrying a musician makes no sense whatsoever.
Your son joined the Seraph, didn't he?
Yes, but I haven't heard from him in months. I'm worried sick.
He's stationed in the old Ascalon settlement, isn't he?
Yes, last we heard the Centaurs were making a push down from the north.
The next letter you send, tell him we're all very proud of him here in Shaymore.
The merchants are worried. Centaurs keep disrupting supply lines to the city.
You'd better stock up. Things could get bad. You think they're getting closer to the city gates?
I don't know. Centaurs keep moving the front line.
How long can they keep sending reinforcements? Where are they coming from?
Somewhere north. I don't see the battles, just the bodies. I'm sick of all this death.
We need fresh food. We need caravans. And we need to hit the Centaurs so hard they never come back.
We kill a commander one day, and the next their scouts are at our gates. The war could go either way.
All we can do is tend to the wounded, bury the dead. Can't give up.
I'm told it's getting worse. Centaurs trampling fields, burning houses, killing farmers.
We have a solid army, and people are coming in droves to help us.
Food is in short supply. We can't get things like we used to.
If they can reach enemy commanders, this will be over in a week.
And if they don't?
Don't talk like that.
See, it's quite interesting. There's so much there about the Centaurs. It just makes me think... I do still kind of wonder about this. Why did ArenaNet choose the Centaurs to be like this massive antagonist for humans in Guild Wars 2? I guess I do understand that there was a space and they obviously needed their own sort of enemy faction. But why the Centaurs? I mean, if you think about it, in Guild Wars 1, the Centaurs really weren't that big. They didn't play a massive role, really. I mean, a lot of the most interesting Centaur lore came out with Eye of the North and with the reveal of what was going on with Ventarian stuff. I liked that they kept the Centaurs in and gave them sort of a new foothold in the story, but maybe it's just that we've never had a Centaur blog post, or they, as far as I can see, they've not really expanded very much on why the Centaurs really don't like the humans. If anything, they've taken away from the depth of the Centaur race, because in Prophecies and in Guild Wars 1, there were loads of different Centaur tribes, and one of the only things of lore that they released for the Centaurs come Guild Wars 2 is, oh hey, yeah, these tribes have all they've all been assimilated into one tribe, the Modnir from the Shiver Peaks, and that's basically all there are now. So, like, I don't know, I still like the story, but as you can see there, a lot of what the humans will probably be talking about are the Centaurs, which are directly confronting the humans in the early game. So the second bit is called To a Much Wider World. Guild Wars 2 features a larger, more complex world than its predecessor, one where humans aren't on top of the food chain. The Asura are smarter, the Norn are hardier, the Silvari are optimistic, and the Charr are organised and all the much. I love this. I took the piss out of this so much. Okay, I'm not a massive fan of the Silvari, right? But when I remember reading this on the forums, I made so many comments about the Silvari are optimistic. Ooh, what a brilliant trait to have. Oh my, the Silvari have come into their own more, and they do have better virtues than that. But this is just hilarious, this line here. It's given all these great assets to the others, and then the Silvari are just optimistic. I mean, who says that the humans aren't optimistic? If you've got hope, surely you're at least somewhat optimistic. Anyway, like it or not, humanity is going to have to cope with the truth that new powers are rising. While humanity happily embraces the innovations created by other races, they definitely have opinions about a more multicultural Tyria. So yeah, they're embracing innovations from other races. That could be stuff like the touch typing machines and stuff that the Charr have created and so forth. So Silvari and Ascalonian tolerance.
I hear the Silvari live beneath a giant tree that's the size of a city.
What I wouldn't give to see that.
Guess who's in town? More Charr. And another Charr mercenary howling threats at everyone.
I'm sick of this crap. The Charr want to fight on the battlefield, fine. I don't want them fighting in the streets.
I lost friends to the Charr. We don't need bloodshed in the city.
Hey, if that mercenary wants to start trouble, he'll get it. We'll shed some blood, all right.
I love how this one really does focus on the Charr, because let's face it, that's who the humans care about more when it comes to multiculturalism. I mean, that is still a sore wound. There has not been a treaty for very long. I love how they go on about the Charr there. Also, I love how he says crap. I'm wondering how much... this is just me personally, but one thing I would love to see, and it will never be feasible because MMOs need to get a lot of players, so they can't afford to have high age limits, but I would love to have a darker, more adult plot going on. I would love to have a game like this. I would just love it if it was a lot more grim and there was a lot more swearing or, you know, adult themes. So just having at least crap in there makes me very slightly happy that they're at least allowing that to go into the game. So I doubt we'll see anything worse than that. Not that I have some weird desire to see lots of swearing, but you get my gist. So the next section is a question of faith. Humanity has suffered a number of setbacks over the years, but one of the deepest is the withdrawal of the 6 gods from their daily lives. The humans have not lost their gods, they evoke them in their prayers and at shrines to the 6 found throughout Divinity's reach. See, this is really interesting. It never defines it past this about how they evoke the gods in their prayers, so it's very questionable what level the gods still interact with Tyria at. The most direct things we've seen, of course, is Balthazar opening that portal to the Mist and Lion's Arch. Some still devoutly pray to the 6, while others have a more light-hearted approach to their faith. A few, however, have had a stronger falling out, believing that the withdrawal of the 6 is a sign of ill omens. Yeah, well, I'd have questions about that too, to be honest. The White Mantle do still exist in Guild Wars 2. They're not very big, but they do still exist, so I reckon they'd feel pretty empowered by what happens with the 6 over the next 250 years, really. So we get another soundbite, which is a question of faith. If it sounds like I'm rushing through this a little bit, it's because I can see we're like 2/3 of the way through the dungeon already. I obviously want to commentate on the dungeon towards the end, so we should make it depending on how long these things are. So a question of faith, sorry.
Who do you think would win in a fight? Grenth or Melandru?
Well, Grenth is the god of death, and Melandru is part tree. Death tree. Tough call.
If the gods are so great and so powerful, where are they? Where's the proof?
Just because proof is not immediately apparent doesn't mean it's not there.
What prayers have they answered for you lately? What miracles performed?
True faith sees with the heart and the soul, not the eyes.
Can't you see the futile nonsense of it all?
Do not lose hope.
See, listening to that again, I don't know. If I was a human in Guild Wars 2, I'd like to think I would be questioning the thing is, I know that they exist, though. They're not helping at Tyria anymore, but I do know that they exist. I don't know whether maybe they should be worshipped, since they obviously don't give a crap about... Well, they might still give a crap about humans. We don't know. We just don't know how much the gods knew about the Elder Dragons, and maybe they're just stepping back. I mean, ArenaNet's used the analogy so often about how the gods are stepping back and letting humans flourish on their own instead of sort of acting like concerned parents as they have in the past. I could go on and on and on about that topic, but I do like how some humans are becoming quite sceptical of the gods having left. It's really good. It adds to a little bit more of the intrigue. The use of power. With the 6 gods gone, humanity relies more than ever on the powerful to protect them. For now, Queen Jenna sits on the Krytan throne. Yeah, how long will that last? She's a popular figure, but she's drawn scorn for signing a ceasefire with humanity's longtime enemy, the Charr. Meanwhile, the charismatic minister Caudicus is gaining popularity, thanks to his popular carnival that distracts the masses from their worries. As you wander through Divinity's reach, don't be surprised to hear people taking sides in the constant power struggle. So yeah, we heard about this when we were in the Ooze pits quite a lot. Very cool, let's listen.
I'm sick of these high prices. I thought the Queen would have won the war by now.
She's a good woman. Not like the minister.
Minister Caudicus is a woman? Seriously, Queen Jenna's too young for the throne. Minister Caudicus should be in charge.
We love our queen. You don't? Then get out on the damn battlefield.
We need to show support for Ebonhawk. If we can't send troops, we can at least send diplomats.
Do you really think they want a treaty with the Charr? The land they would lose has been theirs for centuries. They fought and died for it.
And they'll keep dying if nothing changes. The Charr are winning. Ebonhawk is losing. Compromise is their only hope.
Is that what we do when our back's to the wall? We can't make a treaty with the Charr. They can't be trusted.
The searing is ancient history. Get over it.
Did you hear? Logan Thackeray had a scuffle with the minister's guards.
His problem isn't with them, it's with the minister. It's with Caudicus.
The Queen and the minister should just draw a line through the center of the city.
I know which side Logan's on.
Oh, see, this is quite interesting. I like this because it's like, do you think what will happen is you've got like the Guild Wars 1 players who were there for the searing and actually give a crap about Ascalon? Do you reckon that it will be sort of they stand by Ebenhawk and they're the ones that are like, no, we stick with Cordicus because Cordicus wants to keep fighting, while you've got the Guild Wars 2 players are like, meh, it's ancient history, don't care about it, and they're more happy with Queen Jenna ordering the ceasefire. See, I'm a Guild Wars 1 player, but I think I do prefer that she signed away the peace with the Charr, because at the end of the day, they can't afford to be... This is the whole theme of the game, right? That you can't afford to be fighting your own little battles when the Elder Dragons are rising up. But I guess then the question becomes, what about once the Elder Dragons have been defeated? Without a common enemy, do the Charr-human relationships really have anything to go on? Because we know the Charr, alright? They might get Ascalon. Let's say they get Ascalon, but I can fucking guarantee it. Eventually they'd come knocking on Kryta's door again. I mean, they've already tried it many times in the past. And obviously, don't forget the searing wasn't just an attack on Ascalon. It was an attack on Orr and Kryta too. So the next section is called I Will Defend Kryta. When we were writing Humans, we discovered that one of the best ways to let players understand humanity's conflicts was to see it through the eyes of children. The average human child, especially in Divinity's Reach, acts out the world's conflicts through games. The children know in simple terms who are the good guys and who are the bad guys, and who they are more afraid of. If you keep an ear out, you'll likely overhear a bunch of kids playing a Krytan version of cops and robbers. Ah, this is really cool. I remember this. This is so cool. So these kids are basically playing bandits. Check it out. This is so cool.
Stop right there.
In the name of the Queen, I demand you surrender. You'll never take us alive. For Brenner. Pew, pew, pew. Lightning bolt. Lightning bolt. Tell my wife I love her. Prepare to die. Bang, bang. I regret nothing. Fighting bandits is hard work.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoying your rations, soldier?
Mm-hmm.
Good man. We'll attack the Centaurs next.
I hear my mom calling me.
See, this is amazing. I love this. It's so cool. I mean, this is... I've talked before about kids in the game and immersion and all that kind of stuff, and that's just so cool. I absolutely love it that they're there. And this is one of those ones as well that people complain about a lot, but just imagine it, right? That's not all you're going to be hearing. It's going to be sort of in the corner of a city, maybe in a market or something, and you'll just hear them in the background, right? So, can't wait to see kids doing stuff like that, or just like all the cool little hidden Easter eggs and stuff like that that's coming around. So here we go. This is the last soundbite, and then a final closing paragraph. So, while the children play with toy swords against pretend foes, the adults face the real thing as they risk their lives outside the city gates. These days, humanity is warring for survival with nearby Centaur tribes. The Centaurs keep coming, and the resulting sieges, fought on rolling plains and against the stone garrison walls. There's an amazing event, like, with actual siege engines and stuff. It's so cool. It's one of the best examples I've ever seen of how events kind of network together. It's so cool, like, the guys playing it on the demo. Because they do one thing, and then in the background you can see, like, Centaurs moving along supply lines to try and assault in different... It's so cool. But these are taking their toll on Kryta's defensive forces. Yet, even in the face of constant death and mayhem, humanity is ready to give as good as it gets.
The night sky brings back memories. Of? My first skirmish. Hostiles rode up from the south, eyes glowing like fire. I lost a lot of friends that battle.
How many Centaurs do you think you've killed?
I don't think. I know. 167.
You keep track? Why?
Because I plan to kill 10 of those Centaurs for every friend I've lost.
Oh shit, big words. So yeah, there you go. It's pretty cool. We got the last word here. They bicker and fight and laugh and pray. For all their setbacks, humans never give up, and writing about them is almost inspiring. Out of all the races, writing human characters goes to the core of what being a hero is all about. Standing up, defying odds, and going from underdog to champion. Sure, things are looking grim for our humans, but they won't go down without a fight. They survived the searing more than 2 centuries ago. They've endured the loss of their homelands and countless lives, but they still have the mettle to take on dragons in Guild Wars 2. And frankly, I can't wait for you to be humanity's next hero. I'll see you in Divinity's Reach. Alright, so there you go. That's the blog post by John Ryan, as I said. Really cool. I mean, even we've seen all of the blog, the race weeks now, and I've got to say, humans still stand out for me. I really like the humans in Guild Wars 2. I really do. The Asura only take the cake for me simply because Ratasum is freaking amazing, and I love sort of the Asuran attitude. I mean, we just saw the Trial of Zin. How cool is that? But yeah, okay, I'm sorry if that sounded like a little bit more of a rushed blog, guys, but I'm going to cut it back to us in the dungeon now, taking on the boss, and we'll see how it goes. By now, if you've been looking at the chat, you will know how the race race ended, and yes, it ended terribly for us. We were absolutely annihilated. We got lost, and the other team just went straight through. So congratulations, guys. Well done rubbing it in like that. But yes, well done. So yeah, I'll commentate over the boss now, guys. See you in a sec. Oh man, editing those little sound clips in, that went really well. They really formed in with my commentary quite nicely, didn't they? Oh, that was really cool. Thanks again to, I had a look on YouTube, but I can't remember what video or whether it was a personal message or what way you sent me how exactly to do that. But thank you for telling me how to get through the source code to download those. So anyway, yeah, we lost the race. The other team absolutely devastated us. I mean, it kind of seemed to me after we lost and about now, just as we got onto this next floor, that really our team was much more happy just sort of milling around and getting the light of Dragrimmar and just sort of taking it a little bit slower, which maybe wasn't the greatest mentality to have if we were in a race, but at the end of the day it was fun enough anyway. So yeah, on this floor you get lots of avalanches. They're not really on the floor above. I think the floor above is quite cool. What did you think of it? Like, obviously it's quite simple to get through if you know the way to go, and it's not really complicated puzzles or anything. You never really get those on Guild Wars. I mean, some of the closest puzzles you really get, in fact the most complicated puzzle in the game, if you ask me, is the one in Nightfall where you've got the maths problem in the hidden city of the Jinn. But yeah, so it's not that complicated. It's just a matter of finding the right sort of font which will open the corresponding door. It could have been a lot more interesting. I think that's one of those dungeons I thought would always be cool if, like, by activating one of the things it opened one door but closed another, and you had to sort of do them in a specific order and figure out how to get all the doors you want open and sort of in what order. But yeah, and then you just come down into floor 2. This is actually a very quick dungeon. I mean, in the chat you saw how quickly the other team managed to finish the damn thing. It is a pretty nice, pretty small little dungeon. Here we've got the main boss right at the end, the remnant of antiquities. He uses the thing called Diamond Shard Mist, right, which basically just slows everyone down in the area. And I think that's you see how everybody took a load of damage there and started bleeding. I think that's like a trap on the way in or something. I'm not actually sure what he was doing to do that. Being a big, powerful elementalist boss obviously does a lot of AoE damage. I mean, how can you expect any less? But basically, we just hammer into him. I can't really offer much more advice about than that about taking this guy out. We seem to do just fine knocking him out. The run went really well. Thanks very much to everyone who came. It was great fun. And yeah, the final room here is actually really cool. It strikes me, and I think I'm going to eat my words by saying this because I'm sure it's not true, but I think every single dungeon might have an entirely unique room right at the end. Maybe. I'm not sure whether we'll probably find one that's not like that, but it seems like so far there are, aren't they? And this one looks just as awesome. Not as good as Frostmour's, I must say. I mean, I do prefer the Frostmour's one, but this does look pretty beautiful. I love how you get like all the frost and snow and stuff, and then you just see like the lava really close next to it. I'm not sure whether that ever happens in real life. I mean, in theory, I guess it must happen, but I doubt it would sort of flow the way you can see it flowing here in-game. But it's very cool. I really like it. And sort of looking out into that chasm back there and sort of seeing how far it goes. It's pretty sweet, isn't it? So yeah, that's the boss down. You can get the chest there at the end. This is another one where you can grab the reward for the quest without having to wait for the countdown to finish. I'm not sure how long exactly it takes me to figure that out. But the guy is back there. I think Remlock's just back there. He doesn't have too much to say. All of the dungeon reward dialogues aren't amazing. But I like this one because there was so much more lore at the start. I mean, it was really cool. Really good look into the dwarves. It's true then. The anvil exists. I dared not hope. But this is great work. This is great work you've done, friend. As I meditate here, I may learn to be a better smith. To be able to help my people in their coming travails. Take this as a sign of gratitude owed ye by the entire dwarven nation, friend. Travails? I've never heard that word before. I guess that means just trials or problems that are coming along the road. So yeah, here's me looking at the lava, and I was like, oh, that looks so cool. So yeah, very, very pretty area. It's a cool dungeon. I quite liked it. I hope you like this dungeon, guys. Once again, I will remind you, you can come every single Saturday and Sunday at Doomlaw Shrine, American English District 1. I'll be there. If you've never come on a dungeon run before, you can come. You can play with me. I'm totally happy. Don't worry about your builds. Just bring some damage and we'll be fine. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll cut it till we are waving goodbye. I love doing this. I love just being able to skip through in the editing. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Thanks very much, guys, for watching, and I will see you next time.